Thank you very much, Ms. Desiree Matias. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Professor Peter Kashavivi, Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Agnes Shongarero, Minister of Sports, Youth and National Service, Honorable Christine Huebes, Minister in the Presidency, Ambassador Linekela Mboti, APRM Focal Point in the Republic of Namibia, Ambassador Ombeni Sefwe, Lead APRM Panel Member for the Republic of Namibia, Ambassador Wilfried Mvula, Chair of the National Governing Council in the Republic of Namibia, the AU Youth Envoy, Ms. Chido Mpemba, all Deputy Ministers and Members of Parliament, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am privileged to be addressing this August gathering on the launch of the APRM Targeted Review on Youth Unemployment. And this is not only because I form part of the youth demographic, but also because youth unemployment is currently being debated on the floor of the National Assembly, and I'm privileged as a member of Parliament, as a young member of Parliament, to be part of these discussions. So it is indeed timely that we are launching this report now, and it is warmly welcomed by the young people. It is heartening to see such a high-level gathering of senior officials and different stakeholders, and this is really a reflection of the commitment of the government and other stakeholders to jointly promote employment opportunities and decent work for all in Namibia, and this is particularly for young people in Namibia. I sincerely congratulate Ambassador Sefwe and his team on this excellent work. I was also privileged to be able to work with the APRM delegation in Kenya during the Youth Symposium to be able to add value to the contributions of young Namibian voices. And I commend all of you, in particular, the APRM partners, for all contributions and efforts that were made to make such an achievement after many, many months of the development and the consultation process of this targeted review. The National Development Plan, NDP5, is an overarching framework that sets the stage for a coherent and integrated vision to balance productivity, employment creation, social protection, and sustainability. And as a member of Parliament, as a member of the legislature, I believe that this development plan will play a critical role to promote and improve labor force employability and competitiveness of enterprises. Ladies and gentlemen, achieving decent work for all, and particularly for youth, is a challenge shared by all countries across the world. Youth unemployment and underemployment are serious problems in all countries, including Namibia. On average, young women and men are 2 to 3 times more likely to be unemployed than other counterparts. And in Namibia, youth unemployment is north of 40% and may be increasing as more and more school graduates are released from schools. So for the Republic of Namibia, the promotion of decent work for young people is a central concern. We believe that integrated approaches are needed in view of the multidimensional and non-homogeneous nature of the challenges facing youth, and a strong appeal should be made for the fundamental change in approaches towards realizing this social justice. Ladies and gentlemen, to address the youth employment crisis, a number of approaches have been made, and I just want to shortly highlight a few. The Development Bank of Namibia provides funding for young enterprises owned by youth and administers a skill-based lending facility for youth targeting artisans and other young professionals in different fields that relaxes the standard loan conditions such as owner's equity contribution and collateral. Similarly, the Agri-Bank also has a number of loan schemes for women and youth, and there was one particularly that was launched last year, encouraging the participation and financial inclusion in the area of agriculture for women and young people. Likewise, the National Youth Service is also doing exceptionally well in providing civic, technical, and vocational training for young people, and particularly out-of-school youth who are not absorbed by the labor market. And these are just some of the many other interventions that are being taken by government to ensure that we are able to create opportunities to meet the requisite labor demands of our country. During my contribution in Parliament last week on this very important motion, and in support of curbing the growing youth unemployment, I proposed a 4-point policy position to help craft our vision in combating youth unemployment. These 4-point policy interventions were: 1, fiscal incentives for youth-driven entrepreneurship; fiscal incentives for youth employment; upscaling of TVET education to serve labor-intensive industries; and the optimization of agriculture and food production. Ladies and gentlemen, this policy plan complements the report by the APRM that promotes enhancing education, training and skills, and facilitating the school-to-work transition, but also encouraging entrepreneurship and self-employment to be able to create more jobs. Goal 8 of the Sustainable Development Goals refers to the need for governments and other key parties to promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment, and decent work for all. I note with appreciation the commitment made within the NDP 5 for economic growth and, by extension, employment creation. Director of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, this report comes at an opportune moment when we are shifting into a high gear to advance the targets set forth under the economic advancement pillar of the Harambee Prosperity Plan 2. We must therefore progress our policy interventions based on research that is able to give us scientific synthesis of the challenges that we face, and yet formulate solutions which are informed by establishing benchmarking and proven interventions. The emphasis on youth unemployment in the work of the APRM is commendable, and it is timely, given the global pandemic that has had an adverse impact on economic stability and consequences for young people transitioning from school to work. Ladies and gentlemen, this launching event marks another incredible milestone in Namibia's development. Let me also congratulate the Ministry of Youth and Social Services. I see the Minister and the Deputy Minister are present, who are already working towards implementing recommendation 2 of this report through its recent announcement of partnership between the University of Namibia to establish and construct a high-performance sports center right here in Namibia. And I would also like to say, in conclusion, that this report is only the starting point for a long journey ahead, and we have to move these policy recommendations into practice. I am confident, ladies and gentlemen, that with the support from all stakeholders and strong partnerships, Namibia will pursue implementation of this policy with commitment and zeal. Let me conclude by pledging my full support and commitment to the implementation of this important policy recommendation. Thank you very much.